Hello everyone, thanks for being here today. Welcome to the Odoo Experience 2021. My name is Zizi. I'm from Seamless. We are a very young Odoo partner starting from June this year in Amsterdam, the Netherlands. Today we will present a customer success story for one of our main customers. It's a cleaning robotics company located in the UK, serving EMEA markets. So today we will start the talk with an interview we did with Eric Stevenson, the COO of the company and the product owner of the Odoo implementation. In this interview, Eric will introduce us to the company, what they do, and what are the challenges they were facing when they decided to use Odoo, and the implementation they had with us, Seamless, and the Odoo support team. And at the end of the presentation, my teammate Peter will talk about the approach we had to drive the project to success. So let's start the video.
I'm Eric Stevenson, and I lead operations for SoftBank Robotics EMEA, that's Europe, Middle East, and Africa. We're part of SoftBank Robotics Group, the worldwide leader in delivering robotics solutions. At SoftBank Robotics, we're constantly exploring and commercializing robotics solutions that can really help people in their daily lives, as well as help corporations and our customers improve their effectiveness and efficiency. In the last couple of years, introduced a robot called Whiz. It's a revolutionary vacuum cleaning robot that has a fully autonomous sweeper function using a trusted AI platform. Whiz delivers an excellent clean, it's efficient, and delivers proof of performance. By integrating robots like Whiz into their operations, our customers, in this case namely facility managers, can build more productive and engaged and healthy workforces in a much cleaner and safer environment, especially in the post-COVID world that we live in. So these strengths of combining humans and technology to improve efficiency is what SoftBank Robotics is all about. The key word that describes our organization is agility. That's because we have to move fast. We're in a very competitive environment, and we're in a technology that's rapidly advancing. And so we need to be agile. We need to move fast in our market. We're also a small team, and so we don't have the resources to implement large systems. We're in a competitive area, and the market is moving very quickly. And we need to be agile as a small team to go to market and to stay in market and to provide a solution to our customers and deliver that very quickly. So when we looked at our ERP options, our parent company uses a standard package, a very large one, with a lot of development cycles, but that we found was not agile enough for our needs. We said, the global ERP system, sure, it works well, but it was too heavy and not agile enough for our needs. And so that's when we surveyed a variety of different options and found Odoo. We said Odoo seemed to be the agile component to help us drive our business without heavy implementation, without a lot of rigorous focus on systems. And that's really turned out to be the case. So the benefits of Odoo came very fast. We started the implementation process, and within 3 months, some of our first modules were coming online. And then within 6 or 7 months, everything had been coming online. Now, that was thanks in large part to our implementation partners at Seamless, as well as direct help from the people at Odoo. We worked very well together in small, agile teams, moving very quickly. So it helped us in several key functional areas. One is finance and accounting. And we in EMEA, those of you who work in EMEA or European related cultures will know there's complexity just by doing business in Europe. And so Odoo was adaptable enough so we could look at different currencies, at different accounting practices, and different setups for our organization. Then there's supply chain, and there's a lot of complexity in supply chain, and Odoo was able to support us for that as well. Looking at multiple warehouses and situations where we needed to be moving products from one warehouse into customer environments and others. So Odoo is flexible in that. And then also, as it goes clear out through our end support chain, so service after sale. And so Odoo is great in terms of the module that supports us for that as well. So Odoo really provided the end-to-end solution that we need for an agile organization. Doing business in Europe is by nature complex. So a challenge for a company like ours that is relatively small, agile, needs to move quickly is how do you do business effectively in a relatively complex environment? Why is it complex? Think of almost 30 different countries, several different currencies, different tax situations, the movement of goods and all of the associated tracking that needs to happen. So there's complexity inherent in doing business in Europe. So we chose Odoo in large part because it can adapt well to that flexibility without being too heavy. So look at it from the perspective of one of our customers. So you could be in any country working with our sales team, and you want to be able to order a product and have that work seamlessly through the system so that you don't have to have any unintended surprises. So in our case, the order comes into Odoo through our sales team. It then is able to be handled according to currency, any kind of tax situation that needs to be taken into account. Also managing our assets and where the tracking will end up happening then from those orders. It then flows through our supply chain functionality, and we have tens of thousands of serial number elements that we're trying to track. And so Odoo supports that. And so there's complexity in our supply chain, complexity in doing business in Europe, and all of that Odoo is able to handle in a relatively simple way. So the order is fulfilled, we handle all of our invoicing through Odoo, all of our financial statements, and then in a rare case when a customer needs a repair, that is also handled at the back end of the entire system. And so Odoo is able to process that, and so we have an entire record in many different dimensions. So we could look at Odoo through a customer perspective, a distributor partner perspective, even at an individual item level to know what the history of an individual serial number has been from the time it left our factory all the way through the shipping, arrival in Europe, and then if it went out to a customer and if it was ever even repaired. So all of that is complex, but it is simply put into Odoo and we're able to move forward with agility and be successful. I think we would all agree that Odoo is an excellent system, but an excellent system alone is not sufficient. You need excellent implementation to really do the job. And in our case, that was the combination of working quite closely with Seamless plus the support team at Odoo. Great system is only great depending on how it's implemented. For us, the implementation was key with Seamless. In fact, the entire process of implementation was much faster than we had even expected, which was great. We did it, I think, in world record time. So how did it all come together? We had a very aggressive development cycle. Nothing like you would ever see in a larger ERP system. We wanted to move fast, and so we saw our first functionality coming online within about 3 months, and then the full suite of functionality within 6 to 7 months. That happened because we had excellent leadership on the part of the people from Seamless as well as Odoo. We had a really demanding sprint schedule. Sprint is an agile development process, and it involves the scoping out of what needs to be done in a specific functionality, then the development, then the testing, and then finally training. Some of those segments we could run sequentially, one after the other, and others were in tandem. And all of that was expertly organized with Seamless. And every business has a lot of pressure, demands, especially as we're working with customers and sales. So it really takes leadership from an integration partner to keep everyone on track. Otherwise, it very quickly goes off track. And that's exactly what we needed, because we're already running fast and we needed someone to run along with us to keep us on track and focused in developing the system. So I'm convinced to this day that while we're greatly benefiting from the value of Odoo, a big part of that success was due to Seamless and the Odoo team for supporting us.
Thanks, Eric. That was one of our main customers who explained the Odoo implementation project we did. The company knew that they were going to grow, but they realized they don't have the right tools to consolidate all the work from the different departments and have a 360 view of the customer. SoftBank Robotics is an IoT company. Because of the nature of the industry they do business in, they need an end-to-end solution in every business aspect. There are a lot of things to do, but not a lot of time to do it. Agility actually meant that SoftBank Robotics and the teams were able to move quickly and easily. The successful implementation needed agility, realized by 3 key success factors. One team, eye on the ball, reflection. My name is Peter, together with Zizi, co-founder of Seamless. I will now dive into the key success factors of this implementation. The first, one team. This could only be realized by creating a one-team approach where all team members were sitting in the same boat with all necessary skill sets. For the project there was a captain, the product owner Eric Stevenson, who steered the boat to the finish line, making use of the wisdom of the crowd. Blaming and shaming were prevented, as that is destructive for the productivity and the velocity of the team. He prevented that team players are sitting in different boats, what causes a high chance of not making the finish line on time. This enabled a strong one-team mentality. Eric and SoftBank Robotics facilitated the creation of a work environment where all team members were sitting in the same boat that arrived on time at the finish line with all team members in a happy state. Clear focus was a second key success factor. All team members needed to have an eye on the ball, where if one didn't do so, this directly had an impact on the success of the whole team. As the client team was small, the business was starting, and the European market is complex, the business requirement and priorities were often changing. This required a continuous clear focus and eye on the ball by everybody, what resulted in quick and good results. Reflection is the third key success factor. In an agile world, it is important to keep reflecting on the results to realize continuous improvement. What went well and what can be done even better. This reflection happened during every 2-week sprint interval, what made it happen that the same mistakes were not made twice, and that the team motivation and productivity increased as improvement was found important by everybody.
At Seamless, we love working with skilled and motivated people from different cultures and backgrounds. We also focus on delivering the quality to our customers in short term. At the same time, we also focus on long-term strategy. We reflect ourselves and keep learning from our mistakes where we don't want to make these twice. The Japanese of SoftBank Robotics would say, Saihatsu Boshi. We believe in people. We also believe in happy people will drive to the success. Thanks for watching, and we wish you a very lovely night.